buy-to-let is dead. The government have changed the rules. If you're still renting to families, you're going to be losing money. Whilst everybody is quitting, we are ploughing on ahead with our development. Let me show you what you should be building instead. Our house is going to rent for over £6,000. The renters' rights bill is going to make it even harder to getting tenants out. This house here on a buy-to-let would only make about £1,400 a month, minus your £1,000 mortgage, minus your gas safety, minus all the compliance checks that you've got to do as a landlord. You're going to be in the hole. You're going to be losing money. Also, you've also got high risk. If you've got one family tenant in your property, you've only got one person guaranteeing to pay the rent. Who's to say that they'll even continue? This is why we do HMOs, where you've got 6 to 8 people paying you rent every month. We're 8 weeks into this development. Let me show you exactly where we're at currently now. The difference between next door and this property is, for prime example, these 2 downstairs rooms are going to pay us £1,600 a month together. Now that is more rent combined than next door altogether. So as a buy-to-let, that just doesn't make any money. What we're doing is providing a high-end product here, which is always going to be running at 100% occupancy because of the standards that we go to. We're not treating this as a small little retirement fund. This is proper investment on commercial level. We've taken a £250,000 property and turned it into a £600,000 commercial asset. Now let me show you the other rooms that's going to get us the other £4,000 a month. So we are able to add 3 rooms in this middle floor, all over 10 square meters. This room is 13 square meters, beautiful, massive 3 square meter ensuite, media walls all to go in. This as a single occupancy, single bloke, single professional, nurse from overseas. This is the exact kind of product that people are coming and renting from us, which is better than buy-to-let. Old, damp, smelly, tired properties that landlords do not want to spend any money on. So the first 2 rooms downstairs are already covering the mortgage. The rest of the house is all profit. Currently in here, we've got the ceilings all insulated, resilient bars on, and the fire board for the intermediate floors to hit them heavy fire regulations. Now, this front room, another £850 a month. This is going to have a big tea station down there, another lovely big size room, fireboarded, ready for plastering. Plasterers are going to be finished on this tomorrow. We are now 3 rooms on top of what downstairs would be, and that was just covering the mortgage. All of the rest of this is pure profit. And we've got 2 more upstairs. I don't think we're going to be able to get up there because we've got Tony and Dave. We can get up there apparently, come on then. And up to the executive suites in the house. These are the money spinners. Always the 2 rooms in the loft are the most expensive because they're normally the biggest, they're the lightest. You don't get any noise from the other floors. This is going to be sofa area, TV on the wall there, bed underneath here, lovely great big Velux, 2 windows in this room, and down this wall is going to be where the tea station is here. This room, we reckon, is going to rent for about £950 a month, which is almost as much as a AST on a 2-bed flat. If you're thinking about doing property and investing and not considering HMOs, you really should have another re-evaluation. This is the only strategy that I recommend that makes good cash flow, and cash flow is everything in business. Nobody goes bankrupt with good cash flow. The trouble is with buy-to-lets, if wrong thing goes wrong and the tenants stop paying, you've just got risk. Property is all about mitigating risk. By having multiple tenants and multiple incomes, you mitigate that risk long term. If one person in this property stops paying rent, we've still got another 5 other people paying rent, guaranteeing that we still get money on our table, food on our plate, and our mortgage paid. That then allows us to go through the true legal process of evicting these tenants. The great thing about HMOs is you keep that money coming in even when one person stops paying rent. This means you can evict people legally. However, when dealing with people in HMOs, it's far easier to get rid of one tenant out of a room. You can say, here you go, it's not quite working out. Let me help you get some further accommodation somewhere else. Whereas trying to get a family out with kids, it's very hard to rehome them. Not only do you get more rent, you've got more guaranteed rent, you've got more rent options. It's also easier to get your tenants out on the back end because you're dealing with singular persons, not families. I do not do any traditional family buy-to-let investment. If you need to get a single family tenant out of a traditional buy-to-let, it's not easy. It can take months through the courts. They've got rid of Section 21. And also, if you've not issued your correct certificate compliantly, the court might even just throw out that eviction notice out. Now, hopefully you understand the difference between single let HMOs and how we diversify and manage risk. Now, talking about diversifying, let's go and check out 2 other 8-bed projects that we've got live in Portsmouth. Now, in property, I always talk about mitigating risk. HMOs are great, but they are very risky in areas. In certain aspects, you can mitigate it. So prime example, as we all know with this development, Archers Road, we've had problems with the neighbours, and we are going for planning permission to do an 8-bedroom. Now with HMOs, outside of Article 4, you can do 6 beds under permitted development. That's what we've done. We've gone for full planning permission for the 7 and 8 bedroom change of use. So we've changed strategy. We've decided we're not going to do the rear extension, which is getting us a bigger kitchen and that 8th bedroom. So we're going to save about £40,000 in terms of development cost, and then just finish this project and keep it as a 6-bedroom. Refinance and should get almost all of our money back. The difference in cost from a 6 to an 8-bedroom is probably only about £50,000, and you get an extra £180,000 in terms of valuation on the back end. But to spend 40 grand doing the rear extension and not getting that back in a refinance just doesn't make sense. And we've always got to think on the investment bias. If you've got a lot of money to play with and you're not worried about leaving money in the deal, then I'd probably do the rear extension right now. But we don't have unlimited money, we don't have unlimited resources, and overall, I just want to get in and out of this deal ASAP. And now we've just pulled up outside of one of our 8-bed HMO conversions in Portsmouth, and this one is going very, very well. We're about 3 weeks into this. Loft conversion's already underway, so come on in, let's have a look around. Not only are we doing multiple rooms, we're also doing multiple projects. And that means if one project is maybe a little bit behind schedule, the empire and the business is still growing day on day, week on week. So we're completely stripped out all downstairs. It looks a little bit of a mess. I don't know where the lads have gone. They might have gone on lunch. And we've dropped the ceiling in this one for the 2nd floor. And as you can see, I'm 6'6", and there's not really much headroom above. This back room in this property is going to be absolutely massive. All of this entire room, 1 bedroom. Now, when we're doing the HMOs, we do try and get as many rooms as possible. And you've also got to think about the end user in your rooms and also the council's legislation. Whereas in Portsmouth, we have the most highest minimum space requirements on HMOs across the country. This property is going to make us £2,500 a month. You would need a minimum of 5 buy-to-lets to do that. Now, what would you rather have? Capital appreciation on 5 buy-to-lets, or just 1 HMO that's just pumping you out cash every single month? If you want to learn how to develop these HMOs, a complete map, A to Z guide, click the link down below and you'll get on board my free training, and this will teach you everything you need to be able to go from no HMOs to multiple, which are cash flowing you over £1,000 per month, which beats deadbeat buy-to-let.